Hey, good morning, crew. Praying hard that everything works well today. Trying to get the internet working well so we don't have any glitchiness happening as we set up our bullet journal for the week. Thought we'd have some fun today because right before the start of this week, I got a fantastic package over here from Happiness Handmade. I actually just used these stickers not that long ago inside of my bullet journal. Was kind of flipped through and being like, when did I use them last? And I used some of them 2 weeks ago inside of my bullet journal. She has these beautiful illustrations. She also has some other really nice just stickers that you can use. And stickers for me are a really fantastic way to get up and running inside of my bullet journal and kind of set stuff up for the week. Trying to figure out the best layout for me because to be very honest with you, I've been kind of going back and forth over the past several weeks on like what's the right amount of space that I need, giving myself too much space for these weekly overviews, sometimes not enough, and making sure there's enough room for tasks and other fun things like that that are going on. So we'll go ahead and set up our bullet journal this morning and get ready for our week. I'll also be setting up a new fountain pen, and that way we are set and we are good to go. This is one that I have from River City Pen Company. It's called Morningside. It's a really nice fine point pen. I'm a fan of it. I think that it writes really nice, and I actually think it goes pretty well along with the overall theme of what we're going to be doing this week. But before we do that, thought we could go ahead and open up the package that we got from Happiness Handmade, and then that way we can just check out kind of the cool things that were inside of here. The inside of the packaging, the things that kind of caught me right away, which was very interesting, was definitely the coffee beans that were inside of here. There's a coffee filter. There's a really cool little coffee paper clip also that she included in here too, which is just like super nice and thoughtful things that I really appreciate, and that everyone can kind of use and kind of get into it. So let's check out everything that we have inside of this packaging. So it should be pretty fun. All right. She included a really nice washi sticker over top. As I've opened this and checked them out, I unfortunately grabbed the washi sticker, and I accidentally erased it or ripped it, which was not my intention. It's just unfortunately what happened as we've gotten into it. All All right. So let's just kind of talk through these. I was excited to check them out because I love kind of this it's like a watercolor esque type feel that I get from these. Anytime that I'm creating using these, I just love the look. A lot of the times, the stickers themselves are, let's say, frosted. I think maybe is a good term for these. Um, it's not white, but it's also not completely clear. So they have like a really nice kind of feel to them, and I really appreciate it. So all of this was coffee themed for the most part as I was flipping through it. Some of them that I get very excited about are obviously going to be ones like the iced coffee that are over here. I love a nice coffee. It's kind of my go-to. Already had one going for today as dropping the kids off and getting my day started. So I thought today we'd also just do a coffee and bullet journal setup. I mean, it only makes sense for us to be doing that. So these are just really cool. And like I said, if you want to check out any of her stuff, Happiness Handmade is who makes these. Danielle is the creator of those. And Happiness Handmade LLC.com is her shop that she has. And so if you see anything that you like, you can grab those too. Really just was loving these. This makes me hungry for a croissant. Like I really want one. But the artwork I think is great and it looks really awesome. I love the different sizes too. I think my favorite part of a lot of this is that finding ways that you can use these inside of your bullet journal or your planner. Right? Not everything needs to be giant and huge, but if you want to create some of that, you certainly can. Right? You can have like really big section headers. You can have little coffee beans and whatnot for your weekly overview. That's what I think I'm going to do is use some of the smaller pieces for the weekly overview, and just kind of extra decoration. But before we move into the extra decoration, we actually have to have a layout that's going to work for us, and we'll be setting that up. But thought we'd just kind of look through these in the meantime. These all look delicious too, by the way, right? Like I'm really loving the way that they're looking. All right, we've got our different coffee containers, our French presses, our coffee with little steams coming off. This I thought was really cool. Absolutely love the coffee stains. It's like one of my favorite things ever, to be honest with you, is that you get these really cool looking like coffee stains, and I know some people create them themselves, which I think is absolutely amazing. You know, when people are just creating and making these things on their own. I think it's cool, but I'm not going to take any type of ink or watercolor or coffee or tea themselves into my bullet journal. When you have stickers that can do it for you, you know, what's the purpose? Why else are we doing that? Definitely let me know over in the chat too, if you're a fan of stickers or anything like that, or if you've made these coffee stains yourself. It's always super cool. Love to get that up and running and making the chat happen today. We got the milks, we've got the coffee, we've got the desserts. All of this is super cool. Even like the little cafe, like coffee signs too, I'm really liking. I think that looks really good. This is just huge. Like I think this would make a really fantastic header, like on top of your page or like a monthly overview. Like if you were to get into like a big page or something like that and set it up, like nice little calendar, some other stuff going on. I think it would be pretty sweet. Loving these interior shots too. Look at that. That looks pretty awesome. These are cool. Oh, there we go. I like the small little ones. Like I said, I think I'm going to use a lot of these types of things. I love that there's a whole collection of them. There's, you know, larger versions of these throughout these, but super cool to have those too. And then what do we got here? We've got numbers. Oh, nice. Days of the month. So you can get a full 31 off of these if you're setting something up. I like that a lot. I think that would work out really well. Oh, yes. We got more month headers here. That's what I used before in the past weeks, you know, so after you use them though, it's like, all right, what if I wanna use the month more than once and put that in there, and then you've already taken off your sticker. We've got small days of the week. Definitely be using these for the weekly setup. Those are all super smart. We got 2 of those. Appreciated. It's another font for those monthly headers. Weeklies. Oh, I like this font a lot. Not that I don't mind this one, but like this one is definitely more my style. I like that. We got 2 of those, so it should be pretty good. All right. So what we have to think about definitely is going to be how we're going to set up our week inside of here. A lot is going to be happening this week as we get into it. This is going to be the first week where all of the kids' fall sports are starting to happen. We've got field hockey, which begins today, which is kind of crazy. I'm going to be hosting that. And then, or not hosting, I'm going to be coaching that this time around, which is going to be super fun. We also have palms and stuff like that. My daughter is into that, and all of that happens. So, a lot of what I'll be setting up this week is going to be incorporating a lot of that into here. I talk a lot about how I utilize my bullet journal. I use this for work, and then you know, I also will put some personal things in here as well, just because I think it's important to be able to like see them in multiple places. I'm the type of person that needs to be able to see them in different spots. I need to be able to know, okay, I have this in my phone, I have this in my journal. I also, you know, I utilize the UgMonk, the analog system a lot, so I'll fill these out for myself just to have them in a multiple spots. I know a lot of people are not fans of that. They don't like the repetition. They think it's kind of wasteful, but I don't think that it's wasteful at all. I actually find it incredibly helpful. We'll set this up first. We'll kind of sketch everything out. We'll grab some markers and pens and set that up. We also, of course, have to think about, you know, how we're going to incorporate these into here. So, like material wise, what we're going to be looking for the setup today will be my notebook. This is the Archer and Olive. This is the marked notebook, the one that I designed, and unfortunately, you can't get anytime soon. We got to hope that one day they could bring something back, or I'd love to work with them again and design another notebook. That would be fun. I'm working inside of a V5 notebook, 160 GSM paper, doc grid, 5 millimeter, no page numbers. Oh, I'm sorry. I lied. This is my notebook. It does have page numbers. I put them in here. They're very, very light though. If I were to redo this notebook, it's something I would definitely change, would be that for sure. And then we have all of our margin marks in here too that'll help us figure out what we're going to be doing. Pencil wise, I've been a really big fan of these clutch pencils. This is the Kaweco one, SketchUp. It's a 5.6 millimeter graphite that's inside of here, so we get some nice big lines. These are super cool. I haven't had them before, and recently I've just been like buying them up, and it's been a lot of fun. But what's cool is you can replace that graphite that's in there, and it just holds inside of here. So if you're traveling, you pop it inside of there. You want to open it up, you bring a little bit out. Perfect. They also come in different sizes too. So like again, like I said, I've been collecting a handful of them now that I like have one. I'm like, oh, I need them all the time. And it is what it is. So we've got that. Also going to be filling up fountain pen this week. Every single week, I like to set up a new fountain pen. This past week, I was using this Pilot, which I loved using. I'm still going to keep it inked up. It has really nice brown ink inside of it. But the problem that I had is that it's not waterproof. So like as I was working and my hands were sweating a little bit and I had my hand on my notebook, we got all of this and it looks kind of gross. It actually makes it look like my notebook like it was burned or something like that. So as much as I like that, I'm going to keep it for the next few weeks filled up and I'll use it where I want to. But I loved using this pen. It was great. This week is going to be a pen that I have from River City Pen Company. This was called Morningside. It is a fine nibbed pen, and I love this one because I was trying to kind of match my pen with the themes that I think we're going to get into this week. So the coffee, the swirls, even though this is gold and green and black, I still really liked kind of that look. I don't always do that, but it is what it is. I was thinking like, oh, maybe I should try to match the ink to something like that. But what happened was this weekend I was going through something and I resaw the Ohio River ink color, which is from Birmingham Pen Company. And I love the way that this looks. And I was trying to see if I had it in my little notebook because I just finished this up. I started a new one. Ooh, you guys can maybe see a little preview in a second of what that looks like. But the problem with this is I don't have like an index for these. So I just have to like flip through to see if we can find it. Here we go. Pen Company. No. I thought I had it in here because it's the whole reason that I picked this color this week is because I saw it and I was like, oh, I want to use it. We'll have to swatch it ourselves in a second. I thought that I had it in here, but maybe I didn't. Maybe I had it somewhere else. Oh, you know where I do have it? I have it on my swatch. My swatch book. This one's easier because I've gone ahead and I have alphabetized it. So this was Ohio River. And we should be, here we go. So it's this color here is what it ends up looking like, which I think looks really nice. It's not that I'm trying to match it up with anything. Like, I don't think that necessarily goes together, but I was, looking at some of these stickers and I'm not great with colors. We know that now, but like some of the hues on here, I thought would look kind of nice because there was nice, cool colors in some of these. So I thought it would look nice with that ink. Let's see what we're doing. Hey, we got some people in the chat. Hello from France. How you doing? Annie's from Texas. Thank you for waking up early with me. I appreciate it. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and get into some stuff. Alrighty. I'm trying to think what we're going to do this week as we get into it. All right. Let's plan out our week. Let's get some stuff going. All right. I'm going to first go ahead and just kind of block out my week as we get into it because, again, I want a nice overview. I got a lot of stuff that's going on, and we're really just going to kind of split this page out and kind of get going with it. I also, like I said, want to plan around some of this too. So we'll be doing some days of the week and whatnot. And try to get into it. I'm trying to think. I want to do maybe some cups, kind of get the day started with some of these guys. And we definitely want some of these. I don't think I'm going to do the days of the week. I'm not really kind of making sure if I did that or not. These little guys here. All right. So to space these out, I want to go ahead and just kind of think about it. We're going to have to do some counting. What I really like about it is that my ruler, this is from Archer and Olive, has the rules here already for these. They're 5 millimeters, so they also have like centimeters over here, if you want to go that way. But what I really like about it is doing these wide here. So I know that this has 32 squares across, and because this is a nice big B5 one, we have a total of 46 squares going down. So we have a lot of space to play around with. Get my pencil out over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to use the marks that I have on here. When I designed this notebook, it was definitely really intentional that I included these here. The way that I have them, though, so we don't have too many marks on the page, is I have the one in the center that cuts the page perfectly in half. Now, with the thirds, it was a bit more difficult because of the number that we have here. So if you just use these straight lines here, it's going to be a little bit off, right? Because the way that I had done this, make sure I got the right side here, is that you have 11 squares to here, but then this is 10, and then this is 11 again. So this one tends to be a bit smaller. But what you can do is if you just put a line to the left of the left and to the right of the right, that is going to equal out the 10, right? And then 10, and then 10. So you just have this one square margin, I guess you want to kind of call it, or kind of space between those, and then you're good to go there. And that's how you can split out your page. So that's what we're going to do. So I'm just going to drop this down here, just like so. And that gives us a lot of space to work with here. Now, if I want to break this down, I'm only doing, you know what, honestly, I probably need to be doing weekends now because we have a lot of weekend stuff that's going on as well. You gotta kind of figure out what that looks like. So a lot of the times when I'm like, oh crap, what's that spacing? Because I don't think I did a spacing cheat sheet in this notebook like I typically do. I don't have, let's see, did I do anything? There we go, down the page. This isn't enough space for what I want to do, but this is 5 boxes, right? We can do, a little bit of math, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. We'd have to do 35 squares if we were going to do 7 days during the week, but we could get away with a little bit more than that if we wanted to and only do like weekends, depending what's happening there. Hey, what's going on? Good morning from Minnesota. Thanks for joining me. Ambient 80. Hey, everything's going well so far. Nothing bad's going down, so that's always good. So fine, let's do if we do 7 all the way up, we'll see kind of where that takes us. I also like 7 because that'll be enough space for some stickers if we want to do some stuff for during the week. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 7. There we go. That leaves us a little space up here for the monthly headers if we go across like that. There we go. So we've got that in there. Grab one of my erasers. Where's my little dog eraser? Here we go. Look at this little guy. He works really well. I'm nervous because eventually his face is going to disappear and I'm going to be real sad about it. All right. So we'll set this up and essentially this will pull apart. There we go. So that's what we'll get. And then if we're looking at using some of these smaller stickers in here, we can either, I think I might just do every other, kind of create like a little cool visual, but leaving a lot of space open here for the week as we're getting into it. I think that might work out well. I don't know if I want to overdo it too much with the stickers. I kind of get into these moods sometimes where I'm like, well, I need to write stuff down. That's the whole purpose. But I think these are small enough that I might be able to do that. The only problem is when we get down for a weekend, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We did 6. We don't have a weekend title here, so we might just have to draw one in instead. But before we do that, I definitely want to put down some lines because that's going to be important. Then we'll do over here, since we have that, essentially what I like to do is I'll just split my page in half. So we've got 22 over here. So if we wanted to, we can make 11, which would be this line here. And that'll give us an even split for notes and tasks. And I kind of keep them all together for myself as I go into it. I've been kind of back and forth recently where I'm like, okay, it's good to keep everything in line. Just do rapid logging. So, you're writing down like a task and then you have the notes below it, or meeting notes and then tasks that come out of that. And having that all on here works really well. And I like it. But the problem that I have is that sometimes I miss them, like, so last week I kind of did a little bit of that inside of here, some notes, some whatever. But it's kind of back and forth. I don't have any like right or wrong way to do it. It's kind of like whatever I'm feeling, whatever I start with, and then continue on as we go into it. So let's get a pen. I'm not going to use my fountain pen for filling in lines, but I always forget what colors that I have of these. These are the Tom Studio pens. You've probably seen them online. They did a whole lot of advertising for a really long time, and then maybe everyone has them, so now we don't need as much advertising. But I forget the colors that I have in here. It's like a light blue. I'm just looking for the black one. I probably should. Do I just put it inside the black pen? Probably. That would be the smart thing to do. Pretty sure that's the right one that I want. Yeah, it is the right one that I want. I need to create like a little cheat sheet for myself over here. My pen holder I have off here to the side. I was thinking maybe just doing like something reusable or some type of thing over here to kind of do. So we'll see. All right, let's go ahead and fill in some lines. Hey, Kristen, how's it going? Hey, Sarah, good morning to you. Yeah, you didn't miss too much. We've been doing a lot of chatting as we're getting started, but you're coming right in time because we're getting right into it right now. I'm going to go ahead and just line everything. I'm not sure what that's going to look like with the stickers over top of them, but we'll see. Most of the time with the stickers, as I'll show you all in a second when I flip back to the page where I used your stickers last time, they work really well on the page because, like I said, they're kind of more frosted than clear, but they're matte, so they don't like really shine. But they are, like I said, a little frosted. So we'll maybe have to play for like a second to see whether or not um, it actually can, you can see the lines through the sticker because I don't want that. Okay, so we've got that looking good. All right, and then I'm going to just do the days of the week real quick. And I've got my little sticker tweezers. This has been something that's been super helpful for me. If you don't like working with little tiny things, sticker tweezers are the best. They'll help you kind of position things a little bit. And I'm going to get this on this line. It's going to overlap just a little bit over that line, but that's okay. So you can kind of see what that looks like there, right? It's not completely white, but you can't really see it. It's not completely transparent either, but it's right there in the middle. And I like it. I think it looks really good. Just going to erase some of these pencil lines that are in here because once that sticker's done, I'm not going to be able to get back to them. I have a bad habit of doing that too, right? Where I'm like, oh, pop down all the stickers. Oh, get rid of all of my working lines. This must go a little bit lower because I want to be able to see the T. Here we go, Tuesday. Curious in the chat if any of you use sticker tweezers. Like, part of me feels a little bougie using them. Like, oh, who am I to think that I need tweezers? And then another part of me is like, who cares? These are super helpful. I can thank Archer and Olive because they're the ones I've never thought I would need them, and then they put them on sale a while back, and I was like, definitely need these. This is smart, especially if you have like bigger fingers like I do. All right, so we're only going to be able to get to Friday on here. They have a Saturday, Sunday, no weekend, but this happens all the time. I feel like even with a lot of my favorite like stamp sets, none of them say weekend. They all just say the days of the week, which is understandable, but we need some weekend stickers, don't you think? All right, so I'm gonna write that in instead. I just need a nice, like a fine black pen. I'm trying to think what brush pen I have. I do have this one. It's Faber Castell, but I don't know how small this one is. If I did, no, that's not. It says SB small, but it is not. That is wide. I don't know what I have. I don't know if I have anything that's small. I might just have to write it in with a black marker. I do. Oh wait, a pen, but that's not the right color. Hold on. Are these the little brush ones? Oh, darn it. Usually La Pen has like little brushes, but I don't know if I have those out. For whatever reason, why do I only have fine liners? I know I have. I know that I have them, but these are all fine liners. Did I put them somewhere else? Did I put them away? I don't know if I did or not. Like looking through all my brushes, because I have them all organized by type. So that's another long one. How you know you have too many pens when you can't find the one you're looking for. This one might work. Yeah. Ooh, does that have enough ink in it though? I haven't used some of these in a minute, so maybe we just got to get the. That's a contender. That's much more inkier. It's the same one, just inkier. Okay, we'll just go with that. Yeah, I think we found the right one. We don't need to do a whole pen test to try to find it. We knew that this was going to be it. Thank you, Tumbo. All right, so we're just going to do like a real little itty bitty Friday, and then we're just going to do weekend. It doesn't completely match, but it's not totally off either. All right, now I got to go put all these back. So now I know where I was when I used them, but not this one and not this one. But yeah, brush pens. My goodness. Of course, I'd find it after I did it. This is what I wanted. Damn it. That would have been perfect. See, I knew as soon as I used something else, I knew I was going to find them. They were right below the brush pen section. I swear there is a method to my madness, but sometimes that madness gets in the way, and I'm just like, where is that stuff? You're right, Sarah. The food is what is it? I always say it wrong. The food and suke. It's always the right answer. You're right. I think it was like one of the first like brush pens I ever bought because everyone else always had them. All right, so I think what I'm going to do here is instead of like putting too much because I want to be able to use that space a little bit. We're going to just take some of these smaller stickers and we're just going to stick them on here. And it's going to be good. Hey, Linda, good morning. Loving the coffee stickers. I know they're so good, right? All right, well, let's just do some of these. Let's do just like some little coffee beans. And are we going to be able, we are going to be able to see the, damn it. I mean, I had good intentions. Maybe we'll just do some like little accents on here because you can see the lines through the stickers a little bit there. So I want to be able to see a lot of the sticker, not a lot of the line. So let's go through and just kind of pick and choose. There's some small ones on here that we can use. Sometimes the hard part about stickers is picking the right sticker. I've gotten over this my fear of using a sticker and being like, oh no, it's wasted. Like I'm well beyond that now. I have so many. I'm just like, we're using it and that's it. We've got some more coffee beans over here. I just need to kind of find options that are not totally transparent, but I think they're all going to be that way because they all have like a little transparency to them. So if I put them down, you can see it. So this is good for me to know for the future. So maybe we'll just do like a little bit of decoration on these just to have some fun. You know, the structure of the page is here. Now really it's just about having a good time. I don't want to keep doing the same thing all the way down, but we'll just like overlap it just a little bit. But each day can get a sticker. I think it deserves it. But good to know if you're looking into these stickers at all. They're super nice. I just kind of built it into the line there. You can kind of see it through, but I also feel like the dark edge of that mug looks okay. We definitely need a snack. Little croissant. We have our iced coffee. I want to save some of these coffee stains for kind of extra on the page. Let me go back to another beans. I want to use this one for the top header. I really like the way that little espresso deal looks there. You're right. You're right, Kemi. Wednesday always does need stacks. That's a good point. All right. I'm getting a little crazy here now. Again, it's not that I don't want to stick them down. It's like I want to find other good small ones for it. Here we go. Here's a little small one. Kinda. This is actually kind of big. But that looks delicious. I thought my fingers were dirty, but it was the background of this a little bit on there. I was like, this is it. Friday should be the love. I don't know. It's taking up a lot of space there, but I do love. All right, so we've got that. Just need one little variant. I wish there was a little croissant. Like we have a little I forget what that thing's called. I need a little croissant. Do we have a little croissant? That's a croissant, right? Yeah, that's a croissant on a plate. I'm still trying to think about what that's called. Chat, you know what it's called. Tell me. Not a biscotti. That's what this little cookie thing is there. It's right in my brain. Scone. It's a scone. There you go. Katie, we got it at the same exact time. Thank you. I had to think about, I was thinking about blue. I had to put blueberry in my brain. It was like blueberry what? Blueberry scone. We're on point. Thank you all. I really appreciate it. Hey, what's up, Drew? You're catching this for the first time. I appreciate it. That's pretty fun. It's all good. You're a lefty. I can't make my words straight without turning the planner sideways. Oh yeah, I'm being good today about turning my stuff, but it's working out. But I feel you. All right, so we've got all that. So we've got that there. So let's go ahead and just fill this out. I wanted to find where's my espresso maker. Where'd you go, espresso maker? Where did you go, espresso maker? Oh, there we are. I thought I lost you. All right, we're gonna put you up over here. And I'm just gonna write the month next to here. Actually, I should have kept out my brush pen to keep it all the same. And then we're gonna do some other stuff for task and notes. And then we're gonna put some of these like stains on here, which I think will look good too. All right, let's really get a erase this line. Okay, we're good. Let me go back. Oh no, I don't have to go back because I took it out and I left it here. Is it still August? It feels like it's should be September already. In my brain, it is September already. Let's do Aug. And then I feel like it needs a little drop shadow, like a little color. I don't know if it's the right color, but I'm going to go with dark blue. I don't think I want dark blue, do I? I don't know. Like these colors are like blue purples, right? Inside of here. That's what my eyes are telling me, but I'm also not good with colors. So I'm just looking for like light colors in here. Soda blue. Yeah, I think that's what I'm looking for. This one's too dark. That's the cyan. And then this was dark blue. Yeah, those two are too dark. I think I wanted soda blue was the color I'm going through here. Do I still calculate my capacity for the week? I do, but I actually moved my capacity to all online. So I use Airtable at work. I know I've been talking a lot about Airtable recently, but I use it at work. And so I found a really great way to build it into my Monday meeting. So on Mondays with my team, we have a Monday meeting. We go over our capacity and what we're focused on. And I've just been calculating it in there. So for those of you who haven't joined me before, I used to put all my capacity inside of my bullet journals, but then right around May, I think is when I did it. I got to do a video on this to do all my flips. I was tracking all my capacity in here, and I love doing it. It was a great thing to track, but I don't need to create space for it anymore because I just do it there, so it works out. Drew, I'm confused about Bujo. Is it better to do all these weeklies, monthlies, etc., or just buy a ready-made planner? Sorry, nothing to apologize for, friend. It's totally up to you. So one of the things that I like about bullet journaling, and to be clear, the bullet journal method is not any of this decoration that's on here. The bullet journal method is about utilizing kind of core features of this, your index, your future log, which I've turned into a calendar. You have other collection pages, and then it's about kind of migrating things through rapid logging, note taking, notes, things like that, and then kind of accomplishing what you need. So for me, what I like to do is I like to figure out that structure. I use the method as a part of this, but then I like to add things on top of it. So to be honest, the decoration, take all of this away. You don't need any of that. The standard method, honestly, if we were to start, wouldn't use any of that. We would write, August 25th, Monday here, and we would just start notes and tasks until we were done. Tomorrow I'd write, Tuesday, August 26th, and same thing again. So it's very different. I have a number of videos on my channel, if you want, that go over like the purest way of doing that, how to set up a bullet journal, using it that way, and going from there. If you're kind of into a lot of this other stuff where you don't want to have to create those things yourselves, planners that are ready made are great options too. I was actually, as I've been cleaning out a lot of my notebooks and stuff like that, I've been looking through a lot of my older stuff, and I have things that I've used before, like a pointed task planner. Oop, that's not a task planner. Where's my task planner? Oh, I don't know where my task planner went, but I've used ready-made ones before, but I just prefer making them myself. I think it works out pretty well. But yes, and Carmine, you're making a really good comment there. the bullet journal method is different than the notebook itself. So it's a very good point to make. You can bullet journal in anything. I'm just using a doc grid notebook for myself, but you can do it in a line notebook. You can do it in a blank notebook, but it's all about analog, right? You're writing things down, you're moving things around, you're doing whatever is there, but you do what works best for you. And I think the best way to do that is to experiment. So again, just plugging other videos on my channel if you're interested. I've got a bunch on there of how I've done it over the years and flip throughs and whatnot. So I check all of that out, and it should hopefully help you out. See what's happening there. All right. Hopefully that's helpful. I don't mean to be short or anything, but that's it. All right. So let's go ahead and figure some stuff out. I want to do some of these stained deals, and I'm going to do them for the tops of my pages. For notes and tasks, just to have a little bit of fun here. I want to grab that the right way. Good thing these are very pliable. There we go. So we're going to do a stain up here, which looks cool. These are neat. This is my first time using these. If it wasn't clear, because they're brand new. I just got them. And I feel like maybe should we do something like coming out of the center over here? Or I feel like we should do 2 tops. And that way I can then write like notes and tasks in that. There we go. Cool. And then I know we have a little one. I just want to finish out the page here. Here we go. I think I'm going to do much more than that. That's kind of fun, right? Stickers are still like newer to me. So I think that it is something that I still struggle with a little bit, but I like to have fun with. All right, so we've got that there. And then I'm just going to write notes and tasks up here. So we'll do tasks. And notes. All right, looking good. All right, so I think that's really all I'm going to do for the bullet journal part of this, or the journal part of this, is that I'll start going through and filling these out. But before we do that, we have to fill up our pen. So if you're joining a little bit later, which is totally okay, I know we did this early today. These were from Happiness Handmade. She sent them with a very nice note that said, you don't even have to ever talk about these, but how are you going to send me stickers that are awesome like this, that totally, absolutely fit my aesthetic, and have me not talk about them? But very, very thankful from Danielle for sending these things over. And you can check out her stuff over at happinesshandmadellc.com. And that's where all these stickers are. And you can look for Hot Mess Press is the name of those on there. So, all right, cool. All right, let's move on to the fountain pen portion of today. So I'm going to be filling up that. And that is from River City Pen Company. The color is called Morningside. I thought it would look nice because even though it's green, blacks, and golds, it reminded me of my coffees whenever you pour that creamer into that dark cup and it kind of swirls around. Now, I'm not going to be picking a perfectly matching ink with a lot of this, but again, in my brain, and again, my brain is not to be trusted, I liked some of these cooler tones that were in here, that kind of blue, purpley, whatever the color that is. And so I'm going to use Ohio River inside of this pen, and that's going to be my week. I was saying earlier, and I don't know if I did something wrong, or again, it might have just been too early. Maybe I need to start these a little bit later. But I was looking through something earlier or over this weekend, and I saw Ohio River. JKMO right here, Ohio River. And I just remembered how much and how beautiful that one is. And I am excited to use this one. So I thought this would work well. And again, am I doing it right? I don't know. But I felt like that kind of, it got I don't know. It fits the vibe. I don't know the right words for it. And that's what I'm doing. And I could be totally off. I don't care. We're gonna have fun anyway. All right. So Ohio Rivers from River City Pen Company. Like I mentioned, I'm a big fan of them, and I'm on a mission to use more and more inks. And so I just have this microfiber cloth that I have here, and this I use all the time, as you can see by all the stains on it. They're never going to come out, and that's okay with me. I like it a little messy. All right, inside of here, we've used this one before. I've cleaned it out already, but we have our converter. If you're not familiar with fountain pens, you're in the right spot because I love me a fountain pen. So the converter is what you're going to turn here, and that's going to draw the ink up inside of here. And if I can also demystify that fountain pens are scary, there's nothing easier than a fountain pen, honestly, in my opinion. I love it because I can put different colors inside of these pens versus, you have your typical, ballpoint pen that comes with, ink, and yes, you can refill it and put blue or black. Some of them have other colors. But I still use those, but I love fountain pens because of being able to do different things with it. And all we have to do is we're going to just make sure that our little piston is all the way down. We're just going to go ahead and dip the top part of the pen in here. We're going to go ahead and pull up. And that's going to pull the ink into here. Someone the other day had made a comment on one of my videos that was like, wait a second, is that how you're supposed to fill fountain pens? I always pull the converter off, fill it up, and then put it on here. And you absolutely can do that. There's no like right or wrong. There's definitely a wrong way to fill your pen, but you can fill that up by itself. You can do here. You could use an ink syringe if you wanted to fill up the cartridge before you put it on. But the reason that I like to dip the pen into the ink is because it will kind of already preset that feed. So, inside of the pen, there's a feed that takes the ink from this converter here to this part here, right? And that's where all the ink goes in, and then the ink comes out here at the top for you to write with it. So by sucking the ink up inside of here, and again, unless I'm wrong, but I don't think that I am, right? You're already pre-filling that feed. Otherwise, if you just fill this up, you have to let gravity do its work. Usually you're going to put your pen back together and you're going to sit it like this for a little bit, or some people will squirt out. They'll turn that converter a little bit to squirt out some ink to kind of get it all inside of here. It all depends on what you want. And then this way is a little bit messy. I got a little bit of ink on myself because I want to clean these things off because I don't want to get ink on myself as I'm using them. All right. And we're good here. So I'm going to put my cap on. Just make sure everything's closed. A bad habit sometimes of leaving ink open on my desk after I do stuff like this, but I'm getting better and better about closing things before moving my hands too much. All right. And let me see if I guess I do have paper here. I don't know how well this paper is going to work. Next to me over here, my art cart, I have just a paper bin at the bottom that's filled with different types of crap paper that's like folded or that I'm not going to use. But then I want to make sure they work well with these. If I'm showing you how these pens and ink work, would be great. So this is called Ohio River. And even though we pull it up, we have to try to get our pen started a little bit. I think I might have to push a little bit out. I might have cleaned it a little too well. All right, just looking over at the chat. Sorry, Drew, I missed your comment before. I'm glad you found the information helpful. You say you love drawing different things every month, maybe a week. So generally migrate my own customized bujo. Yeah, I think that getting to a point where you feel good and comfortable about what you're doing, it's important. Okay, there we go. So a little drop of ink come out, which is what I want. There we go. We just had to get this little boy started. So that's Ohio River, right when it's being written out. This is a fine nib, right? And this one is from River City Pen Company. And this one's called Morningside is the name of the pen. And I think it's beautiful. And I love this color so, so much. I know blue doesn't get as much love as black inks do, but this week it's going to be a good thing. So to get myself started, we'll start a little bit inside of the journal here, and then we'll wrap things up because I got to get my day started. I appreciate it. What'd you say, Kristen? Oh, these coffee stain stickers are satisfying. Just open the link to Happiness Handmade site and poke around. Yeah, she's got some cool stuff. I agree. That looks really nice. It's good stuff over there. Loving a morning stationery show with segments to it. Yeah, Carmine, that's how we roll. Am I saying your name right? Is it Carmine? Carmine? I want to make sure I'm saying it correctly because I think that's important. I need a new emotional support ink rag. Yours is so clean. I've actually washed these. That's why it's semi-clean. Because every now and again, I'm like, oh yeah, don't forget I have to wash them. Diana, I have been using cartridges and bought a pen and ink last year, but too afraid to fill it. Oh, don't be afraid to fill it. If you need it, one of the best things you can buy, you can get them off of Amazon or wherever, is an ink syringe. It says for single use. But the important part of this is the ink syringes are not sharp on the end, they're blunt edges. And so to fill up a cartridge, I'll just show you real quick. I'm not going to actually fill it, but you can refill these a handful of times. You just suck up that ink inside of your ink syringe. You put it inside of here because it's small enough to fit, and you just fill it up, not all the way, but maybe to right about there. And then you stick that into your pen and you make it and you use it. Really fantastic way to make this stuff happen. Don't be scared of it. Like I said, the best thing you can do is get yourself an ink rag or a paper towel, whatever you want, and just do everything over top of that. Do not do it over top of your notebook or anything that could potentially get stained. It happens. My fingers have ink on them. We are dealing with open ink. It will happen. So don't be afraid. Go for it. You'll be so happy that you did. I promise you. You have to make peace with inky fingers 100%. That's life. That's what happens. All right. So real quick setup for myself. So what I'll do is essentially I just like to remind myself of a few things. I know I have my my Monday morning meeting at 10. There's other stuff going on. And then what I like to do is I like to put personal stuff a bit further down on here. So we have field hockey tonight. And that's at 5:30. And we'll have it on Wednesday as well. I have to do pickup for Palms on Tuesday. And that's at 4:15. So I read a lot of these. These are also in my calendar as I go through with it. Just how I roll. I like to write it a few times, and it works out really nicely. Over here for the task, there's a few things I have to do kind of right away on Monday mornings. The first is going to be timesheets for my timesheet team members. I also have to set up the weekly schedule for the team. And I write these every week. Even though I do them every week, I write them every week. And then I need to update my capacity. And then I need to update my focus tasks for the week. And then I'll also probably write a handful of this stuff down here. Something else I have to do is go back over here and migrate anything that didn't get done. There's a handful of things that I'll need to do, but that's all work related. It's not like a super secret, but I also like to be respectful of work versus what I'm putting out on social media. It's a balance. And this pen doesn't have a clip on it, so I am going to need a pen holder this week. And which one should I use? I'm feeling, you know what? I was feeling like my little octopus man here, but I'm also feeling like my glow in the dark skull might be, that's a little small. Good thing I have a bigger one. Actually, this one's better because it holds my pen like this. So, how freaking cool are these, right? I feel like I need all of these forever and always. I need every color, everything. This is the cool thing about it. I basically have a stationery store in my office. It's essentially what I have here. So these are cool. So yeah, I'm gonna use that this week, and that way I can put it like this on my desk. I have other pen holders around. Don't get me wrong. I'm good for pen holders and spaces to put pens, but as a good reminder for something that does not have anything that can stop it from rolling off of the table, that's what we're going to use this week for that. So that's where we are. Hopefully it was helpful. I'm going to just look through the chat real quick to see, make sure I didn't miss anything at all. It's Char, like shark, jaw on her soundboard, so she wouldn't forget. Charmaine, like shark, shark. Okay. Oh, gotcha. Char, like shark, Charmaine. Okay. Hopefully I said that right, and we're good. I use pumice stones to clean off ink off my hands. Works like a charm. Ooh, Karen, why have I never thought about doing that? I buy all of they have like soaps that you can use that have like gritty stuff on them, and it cleans off your hands and makes them smell like oranges. I always appreciate that. But I've never thought about a pumice stone. That's smart. All right. Well, that's what we're going to do for our week, Fred. So we got started and looking good. We've got the Happiness Handmade stickers that we popped on here, but a relatively basic overview kind of for the week, what's going on over here on the left, and then I'll continue across here. I like to leave the right-hand side of my page open in case I need it, but if not, then I'll just do next week's over here. And we'll also have to do another live. I love doing these with you. It's a great way for me to start my day. It holds me accountable, especially when I don't get to setting up my bullet journal, and I get to introduce you to fun stuff and we get to create together. So I want to thank everyone in the chat. Thank you so much for hanging out. And if you're part of the rewatch crew, because not everyone can catch this early, I know it's early for some people, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for watching and hanging out, and definitely leave comments and chat in the week. And I hope you all have a fantastic start to your day and your week. I'll talk to you later. See ya.